Don't leave me hanging. It's go time.
Hey everybody, this is Josh, and welcome to another wonderful game of StarCraft 2. This one is being played between Evil Genius's Axslav. He is the red Protoss up here in the top right corner of Xel'Naga Caverns in Game 2 of a Best of 3 series against Evil Genius's StrifeCro. He is the yellow Zerg down here in the bottom left corner. Xel'Naga Caverns is, of course, a two-player map, so they're not going to have to actually scout around and do any of that crazy stuff, but they will be doing scouting anyway to find out what their opponent is doing. And StrifeCro not actually doing anything at the moment. It looks like he's probably going to get up to 15 or 14 drones and drop a hatch first. This is actually a pretty good map to take your hatch first on against a Protoss opponent. Not so good against Terran opponents, as bunker rushes can be quite hard to deal with here at this very sort of open natural expansion area, and SCVs can do a lot of clever hiding and maneuvering and things like that to make your hatchery very difficult to get down correctly. But Protoss, of course, do have the option of dropping a pylon there at that natural hatchery and making your life miserable anyway, so we'll see what Axslav actually does choose to do, whether to torture StrifeCro or not. StrifeCro does have 14 drones up right now, so he could be dropping a hatchery or a spawning pool any moment now. I'm surprised. If he gets up to 16, I'll be very surprised. But there goes the spawning pool first at 14, so the hatch is going to be delayed just a moment as he gets this extractor up as well. Axslav knows that the hatchery is the next step in the build order in most cases. It could be a roach warren, could be a baneling nest, but 9 times out of 10, I feel like that hatchery is going to be the next step. So Axslav just hanging out there with his probe, dropping a gas back at home, same time as he gets his gateway up. He's not trying any forage fast expand shenanigans this time around, though it didn't actually do much harm last game. His opener and his mid game were fine. Just a couple of decisive battles, losing a mothership quite quickly, and just things not really going his way for the majority of the game. Ended up losing a lot of production structures, chose to keep attacking rather than go back and defend, and basically StrifeCro just got the better of him after a very long fought game. And StrifeCro is not going to be able to drop a hatch. He's not really saving up minerals though, so he should be fine with that. Instead he's getting a queen and should soon be getting Zergling speed started, but Axslav actually dropped a pylon and canceled it, so of course he's going to lose precious few minerals there for that little maneuver. And of course StrifeCro was not delayed by it at all, because he basically knew this was going to happen and decided to make a bunch of lings and a queen and drones instead. Zergling speed has been started. The second gas is being taken pretty quickly as far as Zerg is concerned. Oh wait, that's not a second gas being taken. He's actually stealing Axslav's second Vespene Geyser. I like that move because Protoss really do need quite a lot of gas after the Cybernetics core is dropped, depending on what they want to do. 3 or 4 gates take a lot of gas for sentries and stalkers. Stargates, of course, take a lot of gas for void rays and phoenixes, robotics facilities, immortals, colossi. All that stuff really requires 2 gas from a Protoss player pretty quickly, so I like the gas steal. We'll go with that. Good job, StrifeCro. Natural expansion coming down now here at the natural, as you would expect. A couple of Zerglings up here at the top poking at this Cybernetics core while Warp Gate research is being, researched. First sentry is out though. That is going to ward away any little speedlings or non-speedlings for the time being. Looks like the Zealot is having fun just destroying this extractor, so StrifeCro's early game investment there finally being obliterated, and Assimilator number 2 is being warped in for Axslav. Gateway number 2 coming along as well. Will he go up to 3 or 4? It looks like 3 is already down, so yes is the answer to that question. 4th gateway still an unknown, but I see a probe coming out here. He does not build a gateway, so maybe he's going to be getting a robotics facility or even a Stargate next, who knows, or a Twilight Council. He can do whatever he wants. That's just mind-boggling how many options Protoss players have. But StrifeCro back at home really basically either needs a Roach Warren or a Lair. That's really his only couple of options there. Or expand again, I guess, since Axslav really is going the slow route to offense. He's actually dropping a Nexus here at his natural as well, so he's not going to be too far behind StrifeCro. Actually should be ahead at this point in Harvesters, and we see that he is actually very close, not ahead, but very close due to those chrono boosts, cranking out those probes very quickly. But now that StrifeCro has 2 hatcheries, of course, his Harvester count is going to jump ahead a little bit, and we'll see 6 drones and 2 Overlords being made right now, just macro tools all over the place. He's got a queen at each hatch. No Lair started, no Roach Warren started. Looks like StrifeCro is just in macro heaven for the time being, while Axslav tries to get himself situated as well. Dropping a Forge, dropping a Twilight Council. Still don't see a 4th gateway anywhere, but gateways 1 through 3 are pretty well supported with this Forge and Twilight Council. It means upgrades are going to start rolling here soon. StrifeCro does expand In addition to getting a Roach Warren up finally back at his main. No lair just yet, so it looks like Roach Speedling gonna be his option for the time being. And yeah, just hanging on to the Xel'Naga Tower over here. Get some Zerglings just outside the natural, so he'll be able to see if and when Axslav chooses to push out of his natural. Photon Cannon being dropped here. That's going to keep the Zerglings at bay for the time being. And I want to stop saying for the time being, but it's just so handy, such a useful expression. And yeah, StrifeCro's third hatch still just coming along. Both players giving each other some breathing room. They're saying, hey, let's make it a big, nice, long mid-game to late-game exhibition here for all of the viewers. A couple of probes being attacked there, but not really any damage there to that economy. Zergling speed finished now for StrifeCro. Ooh, look, a Dark Shrine coming up for Axslav. That is quite interesting. After that Twilight Council finished, he went straight for the Dark Shrine. Not Templar Archive, not Blink, not Charge, but the Dark Shrine. Looks like he really wants to take advantage of StrifeCro's slow lair, even though he didn't know that the lair was slow. How could he? He has not been over to StrifeCro's base in ages. He doesn't even know about the second mining base and soon to be third mining base here on the far left side of the map. So Dark Shrine is really just a gamble at this point. He's got 3 gateways, fast Dark Shrine. Maybe he'll get there before Lair Tech is done, maybe not. We know for a fact that no Dark Templar will be anywhere near StrifeCro's base by the time the lair is finished, so he can get Overseers quite quickly. Even if Dark Templar are already cutting up drones, he can just run them away, get an Overseer morphed, and take care of that threat very quickly. StrifeCro also taking down the destructible rocks here at his gold. Looks like he wants to be the richest Zerg in all of Xel'Naga Caverns. Right now, his harvester count is ahead of Axslav's, but not by that much. 48 to 43. Mineral income you see is slightly higher. Gas income slightly lower. Axslav, like I said earlier, does need a lot of gas, especially now that he's got a Dark Shrine here and starting to warp in 4 DTs at once. Look at this. StrifeCro has an Overseer right over the position where the DTs are coming in. That is just, I don't know. It's skill or it's luck. Doesn't really matter, but it is great for StrifeCro. He knows that this is coming. He's making another Overseer right now, presumably at his natural. There it is, actually, over here on the right side. So these DTs are exposed. The Queen and the Zerglings killing them extremely quickly. No kills for any DTs so far in this game. One is going to manage to make it all the way to the main mineral line. There goes 1 drone. 2 drones down. 3 drones down. Overseer about to arrive. 4 drones down before the DT is killed. DT number 4 did snag a Zergling kill, gets another one there. So 6 kills total for 4 DTs. Really not that efficient. Axslav going to be a little bit upset about that. But he is about to go scout this third base. He just walked past the gold and didn't run over any creep, so he probably realizes this third base is coming along. Actually, it looked like he was attacked move queued all the way over there. I do see a Spore Crawler already on the ground, so the detection is going to be just fine for this Queen to try and kill this DT. And a Roach now here as well will be able to help, but Axslav just backs off instead. Lots and lots of Speedlings, handful of Roaches, Overseer along for good measure just in case Axslav wants to warp in some DTs. He won't be able to really do that. Robotics Facility and a Stargate coming up now for Axslav, as well as ground weapons level 2. We see Burrow and missile attacks level 2 coming for StrifeCro once he got that lair up. Did he get the Hydralisk Den, or is he only getting Roach upgrades right now? I see Tunneling Claws coming along as well. I don't see a Hydralisk Den. I'm going to scan very quickly and then go back to StrifeCro's army. No Hydralisks yet. Instead, lots of Roach upgrades and this Overseer. Changeling goes down incredibly quickly, but now StrifeCro does have the army advantage here, but Axslav doing another quick round of warp-ins means that he will be on pretty even footing here. Fleet Beacon being created here for Axslav. I like the looks of that. Looks like we're going to see another mothership. That's going to be 2 games out of 2. If he makes a carrier, though, I will bite my tongue clean off. Pretty sure it's going to be a mothership once again, but you just never see carriers. They're just not worth it. Even though StrifeCro has essentially no anti-air right now, Axslav still won't make a carrier. He'll make a mothership instead. I'm very surprised that Stargate is out and there aren't any Phoenixes or Void Rays or anything. StrifeCro still does not have a Hydralisk Den. He's actually getting pneumatized Carapace right now, so his Overseers can escape quickly, or his Overlords can escape quickly. Dark Templar checking all the usual expansion spots, not going to find anything, though StrifeCro is now taking his gold base. He cleared those rocks ages ago and is just now going to be able to take advantage of that. DT just scouting around. It's like an observer, but it's on the ground. It's pretty good still, and of course it can kill any drones that it catches straying away from the natural. StrifeCro has a very large army, though, and a couple of Changelings on the ground. 174 supply against 129. That's an even bigger discrepancy than I thought. That Dark Templar tech must have set Axslav back quite a ways. He's actually teching in every direction right now, getting a mothership. Still no robotics Bay that I've seen anywhere, so Colossi not really going to be an option for him. But once the Mothership comes out, it's going to be quite interesting. 2 more Changelings bite the dust. StrifeCro comfortably just taking every base on his side of the map. Lots and lots of roaches in the ground. Sorry, on the ground. Right now, DT getting some work in, 11 kills, 12 kills. The Zerglings are just trying to stay surrounding it so that when this Overseer arrives, the DT goes down. Look at this, StrifeCro taking a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th base at Axslav's 3rd location. Axslav choosing the perfect time to come over here and drop a pylon. That is quite interesting. Mothership is about to be complete in about 10 seconds. He's got a lot of Stalkers, Immortals here on the ground, 2-0 upgrades, Roaches sitting at 2-0, Zergling sitting at 0-0. Another Dark Templar from Axslav coming in over here. I'm watching the minimap just to make sure nothing crazy happens. This Roach is going to die, and now this base is undefended. It looks like 2 more Roaches are coming in here, but this DT might actually be able to kill off both of those. They are super strong, and he's got 2-0 upgrades, 55 damage a swipe. That can kill a Marine with a combat shield, ladies and gentlemen, but not going to be killing any Marines this game, of course. StrifeCro is Zerg, obviously. StrifeCro, his 5th base may not be the best idea here. He's got a burrowed Roach over here just for good measure so he can watch when Axslav comes over here with his torrent of units, destroys the Roach, destroys the hatchery very quickly. StrifeCro's army is way, way, way out of position. Look at all these Roaches, holy crap. 40 Zerglings, 53 Roaches, and look at all these Immortals from Axslav. 4 Immortals just going to go to town on these Roaches. They have no armor upgrades. They do have burrows so they can regenerate, but there is an Observer in the sky for Axslav, and all of his units are cloaked. Even if there is an Overseer over here, it looks like Axslav has the right unit composition to slay Roach upon Roach. 13 more being made right now. 6 Corruptors about to be created as well, or being created right now, I should say. Blink being researched back at home for Axslav, and he's on the move with his big ball of Protoss death. Look at this. That is a lot of Stalkers. That is, how many Stalkers? 15 of those. 4 Immortals going to start blasting everything. I don't see an Overseer in the area. We're going to watch StrifeCro Vision right here and see all these cloaked units from the Spore Crawler over here uncloaking some of these units, but we have cloaked Void Rays, and that is just dangerous. But now we have a good Vortex here by Axslav, going to protect his Mothership and Stalkers and Immortals from those millions and millions of Roaches, but they're going to pop out here in just a second, and Axslav does not really have a concave set up, so they're going to pop out with lots of Stalkers mixed in between. Still a ton of Roaches here for StrifeCro. He just doesn't have the detection that he needs. He's morphing another Overseer here. We're going to take StrifeCro Vision once again, and he is just getting dominated by tons of cloaked units. Now that that Spore Crawler is gone, he needs that Overseer. Finally, the Overseer finishes. All the units pop back out, and we see the Corruptors attacking the Mothership relentlessly, but there are still so many Stalkers here killing the Corruptors before they can kill the Mothership, and now the Corruptors aren't really doing anything. They're just spamming their crappy little corruption spell. They should be attacking the Mothership, and they are actually all going to die. StrifeCro was preoccupied somewhere else. Not sure why that Mothership is still alive, but look at this. Still cloaked units going to be able to destroy this hatchery, including a ton of StrifeCro's army. Look at the units lost right here. 166 against 167 against 45, not even 145. So Axslav with just huge efficiency right now. His army value is still lower than StrifeCro's, though. That is pretty astonishing. This Mothership, he does not want to leave it alone to fight a single Corruptor. Corruptors do a lot of damage to these armored units, 20 damage to massive units like this Mothership. And check this out, some drones from StrifeCro coming over from that 5th base, or that 4th base I should say, cutting all the way across the map, somehow skillfully dodging all the units of Axslav. Quite good there. 81 health left on this Mothership. He survived his altercation with that Corruptor, but StrifeCro is reeling. He lost a ton of units there. Just look at that tab for a second before we look at the Harvesters. 56 for StrifeCro. He's still on 4 mining bases. His main still has minerals and everything, so he is doing quite well economically. His spending seemed to be pretty good as well. Axslav seems to be blocked by Vesping Gas, still keeping his mineral count low. StrifeCro keeping both counts low as well. Good players here for Evil Geniuses. They know what they're doing. And now Axslav is on the move again, bringing some Archons along. Looks like he's going to warp in some DTs and just make them into Archons very quickly, getting weapons level 3 research. 3 more gateways coming along now. StrifeCro needs to get in a defensive position. He's got Blink finished. He's got his Mothership with 127 energy, so he can do another Vortex or a Mass Recall if he so chooses. These Archons are doing a lot of damage now here. 43 splash damage against these biological units. I almost said bionic, but it's biological. And a lot of Zerglings and Roaches and Corruptors here. Actually, wow, with this much energy, and if he gets some more Archons on the field, he could do a fabled Archon toilet. which would be amazing to see. I'm not sure if he's ever done one successfully, but we'll see. 2 more Dark Templar making an Archon. Looks like he is well aware of the Archon toilet and really wants to give it a try here. He's going to have to Vortex quickly, though, or this Mothership will take a ton of damage from the how many Corruptors here? 6 Corruptors total, lots of Overseers being morphed. He's going to need them with all the DTs and the Mothership that have been in this game, just doing tons and tons of damage to his Roach-heavy army. Did he ever get a Hydralisk Den? No, it is 21 minutes into this game, and his Hydralisk Den is only about halfway done. He is getting a Hive now, so that means Infestors could be making an appearance soon, but I don't see any in the production tab. An Immortal coming out for Axslav. Looks like level 3 weapons are done. Now he's going to switch to armor and get a bunch more Stalkers. Of course, StrifeCro still has a ton of Roaches on the field. 70 Zerglings, 28 Roaches. These Archons are going to just melt through those Zerglings, and if we see an Archon toilet, all those Roaches could say bye-bye as well. That is just a ton of damage from those Archons. Let's see what the Mothership actually manages to do here. Should I take StrifeCro Vision and just see all those cloaked little wiggly lines moving around? It's really cool to see that sometimes. You don't see a Mothership that often still, even at this stage of the game, 22 minutes in. You still don't see a Mothership every game, so it is quite fun to be able to cast and see what this player is actually able to do with it. How many Archons is that? 6 Archons coming along with the Mothership. Cloaked Archons, that's got to be so scary for the Zerg player. Finally, Hydralisks are coming out on the field. This Queen is way out of position, just dies instantly to the huge ball of Stalkers here. God, that is a ton of Stalkers, too. 24 Stalkers. 6 Archons and this Mothership with 100 energy. Finally, StrifeCro moves in from the left side. Lots of Corruptors and Roaches being sucked into that vortex right away. Even more Corruptors going in there. And Axslav does feed the Archons in there. I want to watch those Zerglings get chewed to bits, but I also want to see this Archon toilet happen. And everything is going to pop out here in just a moment. Bam! Mass explosion. All those Roaches and Corruptors are already dead. Actually, here are the Corruptors up at the top. They spawned and saved themselves just a little bit from those Archons because they were focused on the Roaches. It did take 2 blasts for a lot of those Roaches, but a lot of that stuff died instantly. So that is actually going to be patched out in the next patch. Archon toilet is not going to be possible because units will be immune and immobilized for, what, 2 seconds or something like that? 1 second after the vortex ends. I'm not sure exactly. I'll double check that later, but it doesn't matter because Axslav is totally pillaging this game now. He's destroying all these hatcheries. This whole time on the left side of the map there has actually been an assault on StrifeCro's most recent base as well. That was in the picture-in-picture very briefly. Actually still is in the picture-in-picture. I want to follow this giant ball of death from Axslav. Let's look at the army count right now. 185 to 105. Harvester count back in Axslav's favor, 58 to 49. And this base is going to eat it very, very quickly. Lots of drones dying there. Mothership still intact. That might be the most impressive part of this whole game. I've seen a lot of Corruptors already out of StrifeCro, and this Mothership is still sitting pretty with full shields and 81 health. Here we go. Axslav moving now to this third base of StrifeCro from way, way earlier in the game. But basically, I don't think StrifeCro can get the right unit composition to come back from this. He's not going to have enough hatcheries, for one thing, to make enough units to go up against these 3-1 ground army of Axslav. Let's look at StrifeCro's upgrades just for a second here. He's at 2-1, which isn't bad, but it's not 3-1. And of course his army is way, 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 way less valuable than Axslav's at the moment. Gold base hatchery going down, actually cancelled by StrifeCro, and his drone survives against basically a max army, Protoss army. That drone survived. He was the little drone that could. And look at that, StrifeCro actually managed to hold his leftmost base. Axslav not continuing the assault into the natural because he knows that essentially it's mined out. Let's look at the income tab right now. We'll see essentially no minerals, very little gas coming out for StrifeCro, only 26 harvesters, only 40 for Axslav. I'm not sure how his harvesters have been dying, but who knows. And he is going to drop his own gold base here. So StrifeCro still in this game somehow. He's sitting at only 103 supply against 187 supply now from Axslav. More DTs being warped in. This Mothership's still just floating around ominously. Here he goes. Looks like we might see another large encounter. A couple of Hydralisks, Lings, and Roaches here for StrifeCro, but once again, this massive army from Axslav dropping force fields, just cleaving right through that army of StrifeCro, and this looks like it's going to be it. E.g. StrifeCro does call GG, so that was a pretty fun PvZ game there on Xel'Naga Caverns. That was only Game 2 in a best-of-3 series, though, for this Justin.TV Invitational number 2, so now we have to go to the third and final game and see which of these teammates will destroy the other one and move on in the tournament, and which of them will just be knocked out for good.